Hi everyone, Terri Maxeiner here with Providence Solutions, and we are on site at the PLOWS Council on Aging offices in Palos Heights, Illinois. And here with me is my friend and colleague, Christine Sudreth. Christine is a Community Relations Coordinator for PLOWS Council on Aging. So we just really want to invite Christine in to tell us about this, our local Department of Aging, and just the amazing things that they have to offer. So first question, Christine, with the PLOWS Council of Aging, what areas do you guys service?
We cover suburban Cook County in Palos, Lamont, Orland, and Worth townships.
Okay.
So there are approximately 20 towns or portions of towns within our area.
So about how many folks, can I ask? There must be...
We served over 15,000 people last year.
Unbelievable. So big question that's always come to me is it needs-based?
Not all of our programs are needs-based.
Okay.
We do have an advocacy division that will get people food stamps, help with their Medicare payments.
Okay.
Those are needs-based, and those are based on finances set up by the government. So it depends on what your income is. Some of those are also asset-based.
Okay.
Our in-home services are asset-based. So many
Okay.
people have saved for the future, but perhaps they had a major repair at home, or they had hospital bills, high medications,
Right.
and their assets drop, but their income is decent. The asset is what we look at, and then their physical capabilities when we're trying to find out if they are eligible for the community care program.
Okay.
Now, our respite program, which is a phenomenal program that gives assistance to caregivers, gives caregivers a break, there is no financial criteria for that, because a caregiver should not have to pay or be responsible in any way for taking a break from caregiving for somebody, a family caregiver.
That is great.
Mm-hmm.
So getting back to even the home, at PLOWS, I know I had heard and wanted to see if this was still available for folks, helping with home modification. For if anyone needs like a ramp or any kind of home modifications, is this the place to call? Because I have actually had inquiries about that, and I thought, okay, do we start with the local Department of Aging or not?
We don't have any subsidized programs anymore.
Okay.
There used to be one, and of course that was one of the ones that was first on the chopping block.
Okay.
However, we can give resources for things like
Excellent.
that. We know that there are many, many people in the community with businesses, and we know who is reputable, and we will send out a list,
Super.
and then you can choose from the list.
That's great to know. So here we go, folks. This is another avenue why your local Department of Aging is such a great advocacy for you. And so the other question was related to advocacy. Wondering if an elder is in trouble or not. Would this be the first place to call if we're thinking
Yes.
maybe abuse or maybe self-neglect, which
Absolutely.
is starting to get to be a big issue?
That is getting to be a huge issue. And we're finding that a lot of people who grew up and worked their way to where they are now are reluctant to let things go because they remember how difficult it was when they were younger. So they're holding on to things.
Right.
Or people are living longer and they're inheriting things as their brothers and sisters pass, and they just don't have the energy to weed through it, find out what's important, find out what's valuable.
Right.
And all of a sudden it becomes a hoarding situation.
Absolutely.
So we are the adult protective agency for this area. We have contracts with police and fire for them to call us when they come into a
Super.
situation. So if a paramedic goes in and the home is cluttered, they should call us immediately.
Right.
If you as a neighbor notice that your neighbor who is always put together is somewhat disheveled, not bathing regularly, the garbage is building up, give us a call. All calls are anonymous. We do not tell the
Excellent.
person that you were reporting on who called. And if you know that your neighbor now has a 25-year-old girlfriend or boyfriend and they're buying trinkets for them and cars and letting them live there, and you're very suspicious of the relationship,
Okay.
give us a call. We will check it out. But please remember that the senior does not have to accept our help.
Exactly.
But we will go out there as many times as necessary. So we will go out there. We are responding to your call. We cannot share information back and forth, but we may call to ask you more questions about it. So when someone calls, we simply need the name and address of the person that they
Okay.
are concerned about. And if they know the relationship of the person, if it's an outside person who they suspect is neglecting or financially exploiting them or
Exactly.
physically abusing.
Oh, that is amazing, because I think too, sometimes the things that start out a little innocently
Yes.
may end up not being beneficial for the elder. And it's so difficult. I know in situations that I work when I'm geriatric care managing folks, is that distant adult children have no idea what's going on. It's usually the neighbors that end up kind of being that whistleblower. A lot of good events coming up.
Yes, we do. We have phenomenal events.
So before we get into one specific one, is the best place to direct people to the website?
People can either go to the website or they can call PLOWS. We have one number, 708
Okay,
361 0219.
okay,
And our front desk fields all calls. So we don't even have direct extensions for our employees.
Okay.
Everything goes through that main number. And we can register you for events and give you information about events through that. Or you can go to www.plows.org.
Okay.
That is our website.
Great.
And
Well,
we have a Facebook page now as well.
you do?
We do.
Okay, folks, Facebook page for the PLOWS. Please like them. And again,
Yes.
that's another avenue to get some great information. Well, Providence Solutions is co-sponsoring with PLOWS, Navigating Elder Care and Legal and Financial Issues. It's going to be hosted at the Palos Heights Park and Recreation Department on the 27th, Saturday the 27th of April from 10 to 12. Great opportunity to kind of learn about estate planning, wills, trusts, Medicare, and what we can do about property tax savings, Medicaid, food stamps. So a lot of information will be presented there. It is a free event.
Free event.
So just register so at least they know how many folks they can accommodate for too. Well, Christine, I mean, there's probably a half hour worth of questions and answers I could ask you about everything that PLOWS does. But I really do, and I would think this is correct, is really encourage people to put a referral in.
Yes.
Don't wait. Get into the system. Am I
Yes.
right?
And if you're concerned at all about yourself or someone else, just give a call. The call doesn't hurt, it just starts the process.
Exactly.
And sometimes if you have a senior who needs our help and is a bit resistant and you know that for some reason they're not providing proper nutrition for themselves, our home delivered meals are the foot in the door. Because then they
That's
see
right.
PLOWS is here to help, we're providing a service. That is not a financially based program, it's a needs in terms of physical needs based program.
That's great. And they can get meals up to 5 days a week?
Up to 5 days a week, and we do provide something for the weekend as
Oh,
well.
that's amazing.
Yes.
So again, folks, I can't tell you enough about this local Department of Aging, PLOWS, PLOWS. So any questions? And the number again is?
708 361 0219.
Great. And this is Terri Maxeiner and Christine Sudworth. And Terri, myself, with Providence Solutions. Of course, we are your aging navigating resource. So if you need to reach out to Providence Solutions, please locate us at www.providencelifesolutions.com or reach us at 708-342-8090. So we thank you again for joining us. This was quite informative, and I look forward to fielding any calls that you have regarding that senior that you have that may be having some struggles or issues. And of course, Christine is always available, not her personally, but her team at PLOWS Council on Aging. Thank you.
Thank you.